everyone, and welcome to Cards Subject to Change, Episode 2.
Where we talk about all things professional wrestling and the why, the what, and the how of what's going on in professional wrestling. Our guest this week, Jon Cruz. He'll be joining us a little bit later. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and get into the news.
All right, first things first. What about all this about Hideo anatomy?
I believe that's Hideo Itami.
Oh, I'm sorry. I kept trying to search it, and it kept correcting my predictive text.
After almost a year of being on the shelf injury-wise, he returned to NXT in Winter Haven last night, and one of the weirdest six-man tags I've seen in a while. Hideo Itami with TM61 took on Samoa Joe, Wesley Blake, and Tino Sabatelli. It's an interesting six-man tag. You don't even know who Tino Sabatelli
I don't know who
is.
Tino Sabatelli is, or Wesley Blake, so, I mean, I apologize for that,
Wesley
too.
Blake was in Blake and Murphy. They had the worst entrance music in all of NXT. It's just really bad techno music.
That's a guy I can get behind.
Yeah, it's zooming in and out. It's like very ECW 1998 type graphics for that one. It's fantastic.
I'm a fan.
Yes, but great work rate as well. Okay, let's get into
Roman Reigns.
Yes,
Roman Reigns. All right.
Tell me about Roman Reigns. What's going on with him this week? We talked about him a little bit last week, and what he has going on with his wellness policy violation. Oh, that's such a beautiful picture on screen.
Well,
what's going on now?
Apparently, according to rumor, he had to publicly apologize to the locker room.
So he had to apologize to the entire locker room for his wellness violation?
Wait, he violated the wellness? What?
Yes, he did. So basically, he had to get up in front of all the wrestlers and apologize for violating the wellness policy as probably what? Just an embarrassment for embarrassing the company and being a representative.
Yeah, they're just trying to scare the crap out of him. I mean, he's fairly new. Maybe they're maybe they're thinking if they scare him enough, he'll never do wrong again. We both know that's not true.
You can't scare Roman Reigns. That's a fact.
No, he's got a Superman punch, but he looks like Aquaman.
I'm really looking forward to that movie next year with all the new stuff coming out. Anyways, Roman Reigns? No, Justice League. Really interesting turn of events. I've never heard of anything like that happening before. So
no. I mean, I've never seen anyone this babied before, to be completely honest. I mean, he did wrong. He should be punished. I understand. And then they're doing.
And they even mentioned it on TV. They had it part of Roman's promo.
Yeah, they had this like. My apologies. I'm not trying to be rude, but this really stale Dean Ambrose, what's it called, Seth Rollins promo, which was kind of like, oh, we're going to try to make an opening promo like you saw in like 2000 or 1998, you know, like Attitude Era.
Or try and redo the CM Punk quote-unquote pipe bomb promo with him speaking of things that you shouldn't.
You use the Tron. That's all you got to do. You use the Tron, you're good. And you're like, okay, this is just as good.
If you point at the TV screen, it's got to be good. Next. On Monday Night Raw, we had a couple of interesting facts come out on Monday Night Raw. The Miz and the Social Outcast return from filming the Marine 5. Pictured here, with the exception of one member who is no longer with them.
My favorite's the blue dot.
Is that Christian? I can't tell.
No one knows.
No one knows.
No one knows.
So the Social Outcast returned.
Did he have to publicly apologize?
He did not have to publicly apologize for what he was fired for. We'll never hear from that man again until he turns up in TNA. So the Social Outcast returned. They set up a program with Enzo and Cass, which should be pretty interesting. They haven't really been put in a situation where they can kind of rise.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. The New Day continued their feud with the Wyatt family with a pretty interesting promo of...
Well, I mean, you got like two guys that are in like the opposite spectrum of charisma. You got like super energetic, awesome, I don't know, all over...
Wyatt family, right?
The Wyatt family. You never know what they'll do next. No, but actually you don't. And then you got the Wyatt family, who's like super dark, super creepy, and it was interesting. I actually like the chemistry there. I think it has a lot of potential.
And then you have Xavier Woods, who just looked scared shitless the entire time during the promo.
That was interesting because he was always running away or trying not to talk a lot, and he just looked so funny. I just could not laugh at him. It was weird.
That's weird. I thought it was I thought it was a great part of the promo where he can be that catalyst in a situation that could... You could wonder the entire time, is he going to switch? Is he going to turn over to the Wyatt family? Is he going to stay where he's at?
It was done great. It was just, he just looks funny. It's like, I couldn't get past that.
It's the jeans and the wife beater, wasn't it?
Yeah, was it a wife beater? I thought he was wearing overalls. No, he was wearing a wife beater, you're right.
And in another fact, with the brand split coming up, they're talking about splitting into two different title situations. They actually referred to Dean Ambrose's World Heavyweight title as just the WWE title, which is what it was called when the titles were split. So which would lead us to believe that eventually there is going to be a split again of the world titles and have two, one per brand. And we kind of talked about that a little bit last week.
Yeah, I was actually all for that. I like the idea of separating the two brands. I think it makes they're more definitive as separate things, and you can actually play angles up on them being separate. Because you got a guy that runs in, let's say Finn Balor's called up, Finn Balor's on Raw or something like that, and then you have something where he runs in on a SmackDown wrestler. Let's just say Dolph Ziggler's on SmackDown.
Do you remember Dolph Ziggler's name this week? Look at you. You're adorable.
I got name prompts. That's what I needed before.
He took notes this week, people.
Now I forgot where I was. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So Finn Balor, Dolph Ziggler in this crazy situation he just created for this story. Let's hear it.
It's not just the run-in. It's not like, oh my God, Finn Balor ran in on Dolph Ziggler. No, it's a member of Raw ran in on, like a SmackDown member. It just seems,
I do love that, and that
seems more epic that way.
And I was a big fan of that when they did the first split, because you never know who would show up on either show. It's very reminiscent of Monday Night Raw and Nitro, when people would slip back and forth between the companies. Obviously, with it being the same company, it's a little more likely and a little less surprising.
Keep it slippery.
But if they could keep it as slippery as possible, it is greatly appreciated. But I think it could set up some very entertaining TV, no matter if they have one belt or two. But we'll see. It looks like we're going to have two, so you may prove me wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Now let's talk about my favorite thing I've seen all week. And I showed you this earlier, and you nearly lost your mind.
I'm so excited.
We haven't talked about TNA yet, for many reasons, but this is the most interesting story I've seen come out of TNA in multiple years. So what do they have going on right now?
TNA is holding the final match, the big blow-off between Matt and Jeff Hardy in a backyard match. I'm avoiding it. That's an awesome picture.
Pictured on screen is the backyard version of Matt and Jeff Hardy. Don't they look so handsome?
That's what they will be wearing during the event as well.
Let's hope so. So,
we can only hope.
So we know TNA is going through the issues that they're going through, and they're having issues with their venue and everything else, supposedly.
Okay.
So they're on Pop. They're trying to build up their TV audience. So they're going to present this live from Matt and Jeff Hardy's backyard.
That's so great to me. I can't get over that.
And in the teaser video that they showed for
there's bazookas.
There's pyro bazookas. There's like a lane of fire that Matt tries to throw Jeff into. What the hell is going on?
Can you picture that? It's like something. It's like some kind of weird wrestling fan fiction. You got all of Jeff Hardy's giant junk sculptures in the background, flames shooting up. It's like the earth has opened up and hell's about to swallow the earth because Matt and Jeff Hardy are fighting each other. It's amazing to me. So I'm picturing this.
If hell is going to come to earth, it's going to be in North Carolina.
It's going to be in Jeff Hardy's backyard.
Oh my God! I'm going to watch this. Maybe they did their job correctly, because you know what? Normally I wouldn't watch TNA.
They did not do their job correctly.
No, because you know what?
It's so good.
Because people are going to watch this.
I know.
It's from a backyard on national television.
Matt Hardy's Mozart hair in all its glory. I can't wait.
And did you see the promo that they did a couple of weeks ago, where they actually jumped each other inside the barn?
Didn't he put him through a pool table or something?
He put him through a dining room table, and it looked like the most painful thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So I say get rid of TNA. Just make the Matt and Jeff Hardy show. just book that.
Just straight. It saves so much on venue costs.
Yep.
It really does.
You got a backyard.
They got a ring there already.
They do have a ring, yeah. Ring, fire, junk sculptures. Did I say that already? Junk sculptures.
So is that the description on TV Guide when you're scrolling through trying to figure out
ring, fire, and junk sculptures this Sunday on TNA? Yes.
Oh my God, that sounds great. In another news item, the only thing super interesting coming out of SmackDown, Billie Kay from NXT actually showed up and took on Dana Brooke, which is somebody who hasn't had a lot of TV time in NXT to begin with, actually popped up on SmackDown in a singles match.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she did pretty good. It's good to see NXT people working their way up, especially one who hasn't been there as long as some of the other girls, and she just popped up out of nowhere and jumped on there. She was big in Shimmer and a lot of the U.S. independents, so it's good to see her on SmackDown and trying to make a name for herself on national television.
Giving those girls hope. Thanks.
And she took on Dana Brooke in an unsuccessful effort, but...
Unsuccessful effort? What does that mean?
She went under.
Oh, okay. I thought you were crapping on her. All right.
That was the nice way of saying she went under.
Oh,
but she did a good job, and very excited to see what can come from Billie Kay in the future on the main roster, and if she'll be involved in the draft. Who knows?
Who knows indeed.
All right. And last news item, the AJ Styles podcast that was on the network last week. Did you have a chance to watch that?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
I
heard about it.
It was actually really good. It was the first time TNA's ever been mentioned on the network, which was very interesting. They talked about it in depth.
How in depth?
The full, what they thought it was when they were there, what they thought it would grow into, what their expectations were.
Really?
Yeah. It was actually a very insightful conversation. It was a lot of stuff you wouldn't expect to see as part of a WWE product, but they actually put it out there and acknowledged other people, which is very rare.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that.
So let's go ahead and wrap up the news. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to go to commercial right now. When we come back, we have a very special segment for you guys that we're very excited to bring back.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus Card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee. Giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
All right, welcome back to Card Subject to Change. Here's our guest, Jon Cruz.
Hi.
Hi,
He was
John.
looking at the wall. Anyway,
Thanks for driving here.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for
Shut up! I'm trying to introduce this.
We're talking. That's very rude.
Haven't seen him in months.
So we got another Slamorama segment for you. This one is the Bodacious Pretty Boy versus Andrew Wolf.
I'm so excited.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm incredibly excited. You'll hear about how excited I am in this video, actually.
James, let's go to the clip.
right. Back up in the corner. Come on. Back in the corner.
Oh, good luck. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I never see, so you don't got to worry about me. I'm falling in love down there.
Back it up. 1, 2. Don't keep doing it. Bodacious, grab him, get him in here. Come on, bring it back in here. Come on, Bodacious. Get it back. Come on, guys. Let's go. Count you out here. 1, 2, 3. Come on.
And that was our gift to you, ladies and gentlemen.
That was amazing.
Slamorama match. What'd you think, Cruz?
I'm impressed. I am.
Impressive is something that's never been said about that match before, so I'm sure they will take it with great regard.
I'll watch it
refuse.
again and again and again.
I refuse to believe that. I believe a lot of people were impressed by those two guys right there.
We are joined now by John Cruz, fellow professional wrestler extraordinaire.
How's it going, guys? My name's on there.
Yes. See, we have the big budget around here.
You guys, yeah.
Those are lower thirds.
So, Mr. Cruz, we're going to ask you the generic interview questions.
Yes, I love wrestling. I trained for it all my life. My parents pushed for it, and I'm here.
Wait, you're answering before we.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
We gotta ask you
sorry,
for it.
sorry.
We gotta
Do you
ask
just want us to leave? Because we can leave.
I've never hosted my own show before. I'll try.
So, first memory of professional wrestling, what was it?
First memory of professional wrestling?
Like, first time seeing it.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan and Iron Sheik. My dad was watching just wrestling on the big old TV with the turndials, you know, with the 4 stations, and I see this big hulking, no pun intended, man.
No, that's where they got it from. I never put that together before.
And in my when it was small, in my head, I'm like, looks like my dad.
Your dad looks
Your
like
dad looks like Hulk Hogan?
No, but I thought he did. So in my head, I'm like, my dad's on TV, and ever since then, like,
I got so jealous.
I hope your dad has that sweet haircut.
my dad looks like me, just older.
So very Hulk Hogan-ish.
So very Hulk Hogan-ish, bro. So, but that was my very first memory, just Hulk Hogan dropping that big.
That's got to be like a Madison Square Garden show.
Yeah.
Very
it was,
cool.
It was very, and the thing is, like, when you're small, you're very impressionable. So everything you see is way bigger than it really is. So in my head, these giant men just throwing each other around, I'm like, what is this? And then ever since then, like, he would take me to shows, and now I'm here with you guys.
So were you a young kid who's like, you know what? When I grow up, I'm going to be a professional wrestler.
No.
You had realistic expectations.
That was third. So
Okay. Tell us about your first two failures.
First, I was going to be a doctor. My mom was so proud.
Dr. Cruz.
And then I realized at the sight of blood, I just faint. I want to gag. I want to puke. So maybe my mom said, maybe it's not for you. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. And then I see broken arms. And I see my sister kind of just be in accidents. I'm like, no, I'm okay. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Now you said your sister's being in accidents, not being accidents.
Okay. No, not being in. Yeah.
Your sister just found out something very special.
She's watching. I'm so sorry.
You're an accident.
You're an
Anyways.
accident. I love you anyway.
Okay, so you saw a bunch of accidents. You're like, blood is not for me.
Not for me.
I don't want to see bones sticking
I
out.
would see stuff on Discovery Channel. I'm like, no, I could never do this.
So you didn't like those knee surgery videos.
Yeah, and they would like just jab the knee. I'm like, this is working. This is how it works. I'm like, I can't do this ever.
There's just like spurts as they.
So what was number 2?
Number 2, and it's. I mean, I studied for it, so it could still happen. You know, knock on wood. There's no.
I think it's wood.
Okay.
So what equivalent?
I want to be a crime scene technician. It's always been something I've always wanted. I actually went to school for that. That's my degree is in. I have a degree in criminology, so it's something I can actually strive for once my wrestling career, winds up and starts slowing down. I can actually do that. But for now, totally not using my degree.
So after this, you could be the Flash, is basically what you're saying.
That's pretty much, yeah.
I think the beard will give it away, though.
It's not as tall.
The beard will give it away. It's sticking out of your little mouth piece.
And my third choice,
Professional wrestler.
I'm here.
Well,
So what did your parents think about it?
They're 100% supportive. I can't like express how they've always pushed me and said, you know what, this is what you want to do, just do it.
That's something very rarely heard.
Right.
Usually everybody's parents are like, no, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Don't get me wrong. The
to do
very
it.
first time I approached my mom and go, hey, I'm going to join wrestling school. What do you think? And there was a silence for like 30 seconds. And like, this could be very good or very bad.
Only 30 seconds.
In my head, it was probably like 4 minutes. And, like, and she's like, you know, if this is what you want to do it. And then, and she said, you need help with money and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I want to do it myself. And it was awesome. It was
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, before we continue any further with John Cruz, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back with more cards subject to change.
You guys have commercials?
I know.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just 1 or 2 options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
All right, welcome back again.
Welcome back.
Hard subject to change.
Oh, my earpiece fell out.
All right, so you were saying
pros.
We are pros. I couldn't do it. So anyway, you were saying you don't like blood, you don't like guts.
No.
So you decided, hey, why not look for ECW alum like the Dudley Boys to train
let
us?
me preface this with I got some training before I came to Dudley School. I did train, I did train in Puerto Rico with the current Mil Muertes in Lucha Underground. He did break me into the business, and he taught me all the moves, all the moonsaults, all the high flying stuff.
I did not know
Oh wow, I didn't know that. We've been friends for like 10 years. I don't know this.
I think Bubba would teach me moonsaults. I don't know.
We got to start having
Devon
real
looks a little
conversations.
jumping out. He dropped a little bit of weight.
He dropped
He
weight,
could throw
so
in a couple
he can-
moonsaults.
I've seen him do head scissors once. So I was broken in Puerto Rico, and then I moved here actually to finish training. I moved to Florida to finish not wrestling training, but like school. I want to finish my degree here because there's way more opportunities here than there is in Puerto Rico with what I want to study.
Yeah.
And then it just so happens I'm living close to a gym where I used to work out at, and one day I'm working out, and there's this big banner that says Team 30 Academy coming soon. I'm like, what is this? Back then they just had joined TNA. They were maybe 6 months in. Like, I don't understand.
So they were fresh out. They have all that open now. They have overtime.
Exactly.
Obligations
so
are down.
The schedule's a lot easier for them. It's in Orlando, so it's only a 20-minute drive for Bubba. So I see this. I'm like, what?
So you just worked out there. You worked out at the gym
because it was close to my house.
Yeah.
That was the only reason. And
God,
I see the banner. I'm like, well, I guess I'll call. And I call. I'm like, yeah, it's in the back of the building. I'm like, no way. So I walk to the back. I'm like.
So you're calling from the front, and they're like, just walk around.
Just walk around, like, I can go through there? There's a door. I mean, it's always closed. And I just walk in, like, there's a ring, and, it's Bubba Ray Dudley. And 8-9 years later.
Did you try to no-sell it at first? You're like...
I looked around, like, I have no idea what this is. It's a bright yellow ring.
Let's
like,
lock up, right?
Like, let me tell you something about me, kid. No. And then I got trained by them. And 8 years later, here we are.
So your original training was how long?
I want to say it was straight out of high school. So I graduated high school, and like 2 days later I was there. So I moved here 3 years after. So I was training for 3 years before I moved to Florida.
Did you do shows down there? Or?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did. I was so bad. So bad. I hope no one ever uncovers these videos. That was the worst.
Now we have a mission. Now we have a mission.
Please don't say anything.
Now we have a mission for Slamama to find the original.
Bodacious Cruz. We'll tag.
All right, then you trained with the Dudley Boys, and obviously you've been there ever
9
since.
years, ever since. I believe I was their first or second student. So it's been a. I mean, now that I look back at it, it's like a blink of an eye. But it's.
And you're actually teaching for them now.
Yeah, now I've moved into like, I no longer, I train, because I always want to train and get
Now you have a key to the place. Before you were just walking around, now you have a key.
Right.
They don't leave the door open anymore.
Now I help train them, so and actually that actually helps me train myself. Because sometimes I'm teaching things and I forget things. Because you don't always have the same matches. You wrestle everywhere, and sometimes you just do something that works. And then when you reteach these kids, and you're actually learning again, and like, oh, I remember this. Let me
kind of
try
going
it
back to
again.
those fundamentals and yeah.
So how hands-on were the Dudleys when you first joined that school?
They're still hands-on completely. It's right now. It's Bubba, Devon, and then way back it's me. Right? But they're hands-on. Devon gets in there. Bubba gets in there, and the very first time I took a backdrop, I never learned backdrops in Puerto Rico. I don't know. I never understood why. I never questioned it. And then
not even the half sideways tilt ones.
Nothing. I'm like, okay, I can figure it out. I'll go flip over. You're cool. I can do that. And then Bubba gets in. He's like, never tried a backdrop before. It's my worst, but best.
That's a great impression. I thought he was here with us.
Yeah,
very Barney.
So he gets in, he goes, just relax. I'm like, what do you mean? He shoots me off. I'm not running. He literally shoots me off.
Your legs are moving. You don't know how it's happening.
Your feet aren't even touching the ground. It's like,
I awkwardly hit the ropes. He bends over, and
you were upside down.
When I woke up, I'm on the other side of the ring on my back. I'm like, that's a backdrop, kid. I'm like,
I don't remember it.
I don't know what happened because I closed my eyes and prayed. Did
I do it good?
Yeah, but they're very hands-on.
You know what they say in pro wrestling? Just close your eyes. Everything will be fine.
Exactly. Just come here, go. But they're definitely hands-on. It's honestly, I've trained at other schools here and there when I'm traveling. I go to some schools and just if I'm there for like a week, I'll get some ring time. And the schools that are promoted by some wrestlers, not all of them, but some, like they have a name on the marquee to attract people. And then there's like 4 different guys that you've never heard of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and Bubba and Devon school, like it's them. It's 100% them. So.
Yeah, because you always see the pictures of all the guests who come in, the guest trainers. Like, who are some of the guest trainers who have actually come into the school?
Well, we have Bill DeMott. We've had Billy Gunn. We've had...
Any other Bills? Billy Corgan, does he stop by?
No, not Billy Corgan. I did meet him once. That was awesome. But we've actually had, and this is gonna sound crazy now that I say it, because I never really talked about this, but we've had Okada there.
Oh wow.
We've had Tanahashi there. We have Samoa Joe there. Like we've had all these guys that are now like ruling the wrestling world. You sit back and like they've had a hand in like teaching us stuff, and that's something that that's priceless right there.
It's weird because Okada lived here for like a year.
He did.
And did I worked a show with Okada in front of like 30 people, and nobody knew who he was. And then he went back.
He lived here. He rented an apartment. He learned how to drive all on his own.
Oh my God.
He lived in Orlando, and he would do shows and just
pop up. I saw him in the most weird. Like I knew who he was just because I follow what's going on over there. Nobody else had a clue. Yeah. And I'm the only one freaking out.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like and they've all gone through our doors, and like it's awesome. Like it's something like you again talking to you guys now. Like it's a lot of experience going through those doors.
All right, so you trained with the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
And then you started working shows in the state after that?
Yes.
Or where did you start?
CCW.
CCW, Coastal, down in the Miami, South Florida area.
Very first match here was a friend of mine doesn't live here anymore, but James Posh. He lives in Arizona doing big boy stuff now. I'm still here in my tights. But my second
Are they
match,
under your pants?
I always.
Oh, okay,
I am like the worst.
He's wearing them.
I did see kick pads sticking out of the bottom. So
you never know when someone's gonna try to roll
see
me
like
up.
metallic pink kick pads sticking out of the bottom of your sweatpants.
My second match though, I was actually tagging with Bubba and Devon.
Ooh, right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. I was still
Somebody's a golden boy.
Oh, you know. I was still working like at my big grocery store job, you know, and just stocking shelves, and Bubba calls. I'm trying to like not have my manager see my phone, you know, but it's Bubba. I can't really deny his phone call because then he just gets mad.
He'll backdrop you again.
Yeah. So he calls you, hey kid, what are you doing this weekend? Like, I don't know, working. He's like, you wanna do the show with me? Like, with you? Yeah.
Like in the same room as you, or
same vicinity, same state. It's like, all right, well, you can type with me and Devon. All right, be there at 7. Bye. And he just hangs up.
Jeez.
where do I go?
Yeah,
He didn't
so
give me a
like-
building.
Did you have like 3D gear on? Did you have like Dudley Boy stuff on?
No,
Team 3D T-shirt.
No, I had a
and
shirt.
camo pants?
They did give me a shirt.
Okay.
It was extra large. So I cut it up as best as I could, and it still looked like a cape, you know.
So basically, it was just down to the logo
It
on
was
the
pretty
shirt.
much just it was like it was a EAMD. That's all it showed. And then just drove down there and tagged with them versus 3 other guys, and that's the first time I got put through a table by them, and I was on their team.
Wait, they turned on you?
Yeah.
What
And I'm
jerks?
still, jerks.
But it was.
I mean, if you still worked for those guys, I would.
Yeah, jerks. They said that. So the match ended. You know, the table we had, like, we tried putting someone else through a table. I did one of those botchamania, like, no, I'm the table, get off me. So we finished the match anyway. I'm like, all right, well, we won. I'm excited. Here's my money shot. And, you know, Bubba, like, extends his arms. And I'm like, he likes me. I'm an honorary, I'm little Deho Dudley. I go to hug him. And he hugs me back. I'm like, okay. And out the corner of my eye, I look at Devon, and he does this.
Oh.
And I let go of Bubba because now I'm terrified. I go to Devon.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and Bubba just grabs my arm. He turns me and just chops me so hard in the stomach. I have no choice but to bend down.
Oh.
And just power bombs me through a table. And
That's
then
awesome.
he just looks at me and goes, ha! Welcome, kid, and just walks off.
Oh my God. Okay, so you got put through a table by the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
Your mentors in the United States.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here?
Now, thankfully, I'm everywhere. Thankfully, you know.
What are you doing lately? What have you been up to?
I've been.
Mention some of this stuff right here. Right there. Mention some of that.
That says TNA.
Yeah.
So, did you do some stuff for TNA?
I did.
Oh!
my God, really?
Guys, this was not rehearsed at all.
Good thing we wrote it down on
Obviously
paper.
not.
I would have just not talked about anything. I would have talked about like my pet cat or something. Yes.
We can save that segment for the end.
I do a personal show. We do it. You can come to my house.
I did
afterwards.
actually have some stuff. We did actually. Now that I look back, I've done a lot of stuff for TNA over the years. You know, we first when not Bubba and Diva are back in WWE, but when they first started school, they were at TNA, and since they were right down the road, they would tape. You know, whatever days they were, as they changed so many times, but they would call like, "Hey, are you there? Yeah, show up." Like, okay,
All right.
And that's actually when I learned to always have my bags packed. Sounds cliche, but always had my gear in my bag in my car. You never know.
And you did that as both. You did it as singles, as
singles
John
and a
Cruz,
tag.
Bendejo.
You never
You even
know.
did it as Serpentico, didn't
Yeah,
you?
absolutely. Yeah, that actually happened not too
No.
long ago.
I happen
And
to
that's
know,
what we can use as a segue.
I happen
'cause
to know Serpentico is a snake. You are
He is
not.
a snake god.
He's a sneaky snake.
He is the king of snakes, not necessarily a snake himself.
Well, let's go ahead and save this. We're going to go to break. We call that a teaser, so they come back
Teaser.
after the
Come
commercial.
back.
We're going to talk
Don't
about
leave me.
John Cruz, about Serpentico, Pale Horse Lucha, and everything they have going on as soon as we get back from break.
That's how I tease. Come back.
Right?
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus Card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
And we're back with our guest, John Cruz.
Oh my.
Hey.
For those of you who don't know, John Cruz, also known as the King of Snakes, Serpentico.
That's me.
What is the full title?
It's way too long.
It's
We'll
way too
go with
long?
Serpentico. I texted you as a joke, and you used it to promote. Fantastic.
Why not?
Lesson learned.
So, Serpentico
Yes.
is a lucha character
Yes,
used in the
absolutely.
Pale Horse Lucha series by Chris Parks. Tell us about Pale Horse Lucha and how that all came to be and how you got involved with that.
So this actually started with my tag partner and Chris. They had a relationship already. They knew each other because Chris had come to a couple shows. And Jay and him had met, and they talked about Rey Mysterio's shirt that Chris did for WWE, the one where he's praying. Yeah. I own one of those shirts, and they were talking about it, and then it just came about as Chris just wanted to create a lucha character. And that was it, just one. Just want to create that character, a character, and just put new merchandise, just see where it goes.
You can't stop at one.
No, not at all. So he asked Jay to model for him, you know. So Jay's absolutely, we'll do it. And then 3 weeks later, Chris comes back and goes, "Well, I got 4 characters now. I need 4 models."
So he didn't sleep for like a week.
So him, Chris Parks, and a gentleman named Michael Thomas, like they imagined these characters, you know, all 4 of them. And then they created these elaborate backstories. Like the stories on these characters are nothing short of like out of a comic book. They're really interesting. There's something like I've never like read before for wrestling character. You know, so he created these characters. He created this. You know, they got sent out to make. My buddy Lindsay Dorado made this. You know, made the mask, made all the gear for everyone. And then he's like, "Well, what if I run a show?" I'm like, it's hard, and I hate running shows, so I don't know how. I mean, you can try, but it's gonna be really hard. He's like, I think I can do it. Like, all right, well, how many guys do you want? I'm like, I don't know, I want like 2 matches. I'm like, what is going on?
A 2-match show?
A 2-match show. I'm like, I don't. Oh, okay. It's like, well, would be a part art gallery, part show. I was like, oh, so like a live exhibit, like an art exhibit. All right,
Yeah.
that makes a little
It's a
bit more
different way
sense.
to think about it, kind of
so
processes.
now I'm not looking at a bingo hall like popcorn, like beer, and someone yelling at me that I suck or whatever. All right, it's a little bit.
I get enough of that on the weekends.
So I'm like, all right, that makes sense. And then I wasn't involved in a lot of the creative process for the show, at least the first one. I know the second one is rumored to be coming about like later this year, but the first one, like again, like I show up. I show up, tell me my segment or tell me what I have to do, and that's my job.
It worked today. Like you're doing very well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So I wasn't heavily involved, so I don't really know exactly what all went in. I know a lot of money and a lot of time and preparation went in, because when we met with a team in St. Petersburg at a studio, like we walked in, like I was expecting like 2 or 3 guys, you know.
Yeah.
Walk in, there's a team of like artists and concept artists and computer graphics guys and photographers and videographers, and like this is something big. And we actually used your ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used your ring, and it was honestly,
It's my ring too.
oh, sorry, your guys' rings. And we ran that show and only had 3 matches.
It was amazing. It was probably the best live exhibit I've ever seen for pro wrestling, because
yeah.
it was the art exhibit. It was all the pieces with descriptions of everything, and then
the original mask, the backstory.
Yeah, you walk into a wrestling show and you're not going to see it like at a bingo hall show. You just see a giant picture of this dude like this.
I was there. I was doing that. Yeah.
And it was a full-size picture, description of who he is, what he stands for, what he's trying to do, and then his opponent, who he is, what he stands for, what he's trying.
Pictures of you guys like actually locking up. Stuff.
We had like we were brought in like a couple of weeks before to do a photo shoot, to do a costume fitting, and we actually shot videos in the studio, which I've never, like, in my head, you know, we're shooting a video, we need a green screen, we need like all this tech, and we're just standing in the studio. He's like, all right, I'm just shoot you right here and we'll superimpose you. I'm like, you do that.
They took all the time to cut you out.
Yeah, you do that. I don't know how you're gonna do it, you know. And then
no, they looked amazing.
And then now you guys saw it. Like, it's awesome.
It was just one of those things I don't think I'll ever see again outside of Pale Horse Lucha, because it was such an experience. Like, I was super impressed just being there as a part. Like, it was just awesome.
I remember walking in and like, is this real?
It's not a wrestling show.
It's not a wrestling show at all.
But it's cooler than a wrestling show.
Of course it's real.
It was so amazing. And if you guys want to check out, you know, what Pale Horse Lucha is all about, just go to palehorselucha.com, and all our bios, all our show information, just everything's there. So.
And if they ever announce another show or another art exhibit, I'm sure all the information will be there. So I keep your eye on that website just in case anything comes up.
Everyone go to it. It was awesome. It really was.
So Pale Horse Lucha. A lot of other lucha things came out of this.
So, absolutely.
It's just spilling over with lucha.
Yeah, so much lucha.
Lucha.
Mucha lucha.
Mucha lucha. Speaking of mucha lucha, yeah. So now that the people seeing these characters, and like, these are so over the top, so well made, the gear is really well done. They're like, wow, we want you on our show, because you guys look like comic book characters.
Yeah.
You're the full package of everything.
So, and the thing is, like, the way it was described to me is like, the promoter told me, well, my kid likes you. Like, you look like an action figure. So
you're in.
And you're in. You're in. So if kids like you, the parents have to go. So there you go. That's the very first incarnation of Serpentico.
Wait, you guys get the internet?
We have
the internet here.
So ever since we've had these characters, we've been able to essentially double our bookings.
That's awesome.
Some people want the regular, you know, Team Lucha LWO, and they're like, bring your mask. I'm like, absolutely. And
2 paydays.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know.
So do you have to wear 2 sets of gear under your clothes at all times?
Gear over gear.
Just in case.
Did they ever book Serpentico and your partner against Team Lucha?
Let's not give anyone any ideas. Please don't. Ideas. Because we can try it. I don't know how good it'll be, but.
So. You're very open about the fact that you are Serpentico and John Cruz. Do you ever get any backlash on that from anybody?
Wait, that's Cruz?
Shh. Oh my God! I know. I'll put it back on because my hair's a mess. So, I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
We streamed to the microphones. I feel bad for all the technical people in the back.
Since Mexican like lucha libre lore, like the mask is sacred.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first got presented with the character, I'm like, they're gonna know they already saw our faces. So when it gets out, they're gonna.
The minute you Instagram something,
in my head, I'm like, you know what? There's gonna be backlash, but at least they're talking about us.
Yeah.
You know. So let's just do it and see what happens. And to this day, like, not even from the actual like luchadors we've met that know we do both, they don't really know, because we treat it, and not that it's the same thing, but we treat it as a separate universe, you know, like Ricochet,
alternate timeline kind of stuff.
Yeah, like Ricochet on the Independents and on New Japan, he's Ricochet.
Yeah.
But in the universe of Lucha Underground, you know,
he's Prince Puma.
Puma.
And everybody knows that, and everybody accepts it.
We accept it, you know? So that's how I kind of like, if anyone...
Plus, you're never going to look past those tattoos. You're going to know what's
Exactly. They are covered up, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, when I do Serpentico, you know? But that's what I thought. That's my final thinking. Like, you know what? It's 2016. Like, Rey Mysterio came back, and they put the mask on him just to sell, in my opinion, just sell masks for merch purposes. Because he's more, everyone's more, a little bit more...
Speaking of, what kind of merchandise do you have available?
Well, I do have replica masks, like this one. I have T-shirts, I have pictures, all available if you just, you know, go to
So they just call you? Okay, prowrestlingtees.com.
/Los Bendejos, or if you just go on my Twitter, @lucha_Cruz. I'm setting up, I used to have a website, and then one day I just woke up and just wanted to be lazy and just keep up with it. So I'm going to have
I was going to say, it seems harder to delete it than it is just
let it expire. So I will have something up, and you can. It's a direct portal for merchandise and for stuff like that. Because right now I'm just doing it via Facebook and via Twitter and stuff like that. So.
And what else do you have going on besides you have Mucha Lucha in Atlanta?
Yeah, Mucha Lucha, July 17th. We actually have Lucha Underground stars. We have AAA stars. We have Oraculo. We have Serpentico. We have Mr. 450, who is a ridiculous addition to that roster because he almost started a riot last time we were there.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so I can't wait for this time. Thanks, 450. Yeah, we recently came back from PWX. We were gone for like a year. We came back to them, so we're doing stuff with them again. We're going to Puerto Rico soon, myself and Jay Rios. We're doing lots of stuff. We're trying to get around, you know, so.
Awesome.
So you got that stuff going on. So be sure to follow Cruz, Lucha_Cruz
That's me.
on Twitter. And be sure to follow us, Card Subject Change.
Markika.
Card Subject Change. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So I'm sure you follow all those things.
I follow all of that.
So follow us on all those things. My name is Mark. Yes, that's with 2 Ks. This is Ray Swift Stereo Jr. That's John Cruz. Thank you for joining us on Card Subject Change Episode 2. We'll see you guys next week with a different guest.